So for anyone who's watching this after the fact, this is Tanuki Hero. This is the new concept I was talking about the alchemical order of people. And they'll be like different colors, kind of like the Power Rangers. But yeah, it's about a group of friends that go up against demons and shadows of another realm and like boss fights. And all of their weapons have been enchanted by kind of like a freak meteor shower with magic star powers, and each of their weapons is some type of nostalgic item. So Ice's is like a rock band guitar, like the guitar controllers that you would use for like Guitar Hero, and he's like a bard, but he can like strum his guitar and freeze things, and yeah, pretty neat. I actually have a little thing I made. Oh no, it just fell. Yeah, I made a... I work at a place where there's like lots of shipping and stuff, so this is from a tape roll. I made like, there's Ice, Toast, Toad, Mephiles, and tacos. Cool. Oh, thanks, Buster. Yeah, so these are some of the characters. That's 5 of them. There's 12 characters in total, and the story follows one of the characters. Here's the story. Toad coming back home after a long time of being away from his friends. And they're all living together in this abandoned library that they call the Loft. So these are the characters: Mephiles, Toad, Tacos, Ice, Minnie, Bacon, Toast, Fox, Cheese, Grape, Joker, and Wilbur. And I got some things for the Loft. I was like wanting kind of like a retro, like cyberpunk feel, with maybe some like eco-punk or solar punk, like plants and stuff. And the idea is like these like giant boss fights, kind of like, I guess I should be writing things, like fighting against giant demon kaiju type thing. But in the, I think it's chapter 4 and 5, they go up against what seems like a huge demon, but ends up it's much smaller than the things that they're about to go up against. But the idea was to this of the story was based on a gaming YouTube channel that I used to be a part of, where my name was Ice, and a lot of the boss fights are going to be kind of based off of past experiences that we had and past games that we played, without trying my best not to infringe on copyrights, I guess. That's the funny thing with this one is like, so going through like the weapons, Mephiles has basically a Nintendo Power Glove, a glove-like game controller. Toad has a portable Game Boy type thing that he can summon Pokemon or pocket monsters out of. Tacos has, I might change his. Right now his is just like a rock band guitar, but his might change. He's really into like Minecraft and Legend of Zelda and stuff, so there might be some cool like mithril weapon or something that we could do instead for him. Ice has a rock band guitar, kind of like a bard. Minnie has, his is not as retro, but because I'm trying to think of something that it would work for, but basically he has 2 mini lightsaber blades. They're like little daggers, and they are like Joy-Cons from the Nintendo Switch. So like you're holding the Joy-Con and press the right trigger, and then blades of like neon and pink And then Bacon has a Game Boy Advance. His superpower is to be... It's a surprise. Toast. Oh, what? There's the same cat. He has a pet cat, and he often wears the VR headset. Like that little dude. And with the VR headset, he can kind of like tattle and Paper Mario, so you can see like the health of something and other various things. Maybe you'll like unlock things throughout. Yeah, I want to include some idea of like characters leveling up. Fox is kind of like Naruto ninja vibes, and his weapon will be something related to like the PlayStation, but ninja, like maybe a PlayStation, I don't know, maybe like what do they call those things? They're not ninja stars, they're like kind of little blades. Anyway, but it could have like squares and triangles, because you can't copyright a square and a triangle and a circle and an X. Squid Game proved that to us. And then Cheese, his weapon is yet to be determined, but I love this little like side bag. It's like a Swiss cheese. Grape has like these little Kool-Aid things. So like when the star hits their house, they had just gone to the market, and these Kool-Aids just start to glow, and he can use them like different potions and explosives and stuff. A lot of the how the magic works is kind of like hand waving magic. Joker, his character, has a deck of playing cards that are magic. And Wilbur, he is the milkman and might have some magic powers too. He's a cool guy. Growing up, we played a lot of Mario Party, and I thought it'd be really cool to... I'm just creating more projects for myself, but have some type of party game, like Mario Party, but Tanuki Party. And this was really cool. I thought it'd be a cool like board, kind of like this like Asian inspired city taken over by plants. And the animated short that we're going to make is probably going to be off of chapter 1 of the story. I know there's like the thing where like a screenplay... Wait, do I have Tanuki Hero on here? Where a screenplay is like... No, I don't. A screenplay, 1 page is like 1 minute of screen time. Just read it through real quick. Maybe see if we can spark some ideas. Tanuki Hero, Chapter 1, The Return. The moonlight penetrated brightly into a lonely train station, casting long shadows across the cold, hard ground. A bright young figure sat silently in the moment, holding to a cold backpack in his arms. He closed his eyes as his messy strawberry hair blew across his face with a gentle breeze. The young boy was Toad. He sat accompanied by a large backpack, with a plushie sitting on top, a suitcase covered in stickers upright on the ground, and his coat draped over the bench. He breathed in deeply as light flooded the scene and the train pulled into station. Toad now sat on the warm train, though not warm in a comforting way, more in a sickly, moist warmth kind of way. He was on his way to visit his longtime friends that he hadn't seen in quite a while. He looked out the window longingly for the times of the past. His brother would be there too, Ice. It had been a long while since he last saw him. How long had it been, Toad wondered. He couldn't remember. As the train pulled into the city, the scenery abruptly changed. from desolate valleys to bright lights, neon signs, and steam shooting up from various places around him. Toad's eyes became heavy as he drifted away momentarily into a daydream. He was surrounded by his friends again, but all of them much younger. He was younger too. His head up against something, he reached behind and felt the familiar couch cushion supporting him. He was sitting on the floor against the futon, signature in long night couch gaming sessions. The games had just finished. One of his friends stood tall on top of the futon, his dark curly hair covering his eyes. Meth. He reached to a plate of desserts below as he looked Toad in the eyes and shouted, as if in a battle cry, "Chaos! Swiss roll!" Meth launched an oversized cinnamon roll into Toad's face. Toad was sent abruptly back to his surroundings on the dismal train. He raised his hand up as a snack cart passed by and spoke up. "One cinnamon roll, please. The biggest you've got." The early morning shone in through the window. People ran frantically around the loft, tidying things up as they went. "Come on, everyone. We gotta get everything ready," Ice shouted. He held to the banister in one hand and a Guitar Hero guitar in the other, looking for a place to put it as he shouted up the stairs to the highest level. Ice had slightly styled hair with a large scarf around his neck, due to him being seemingly always cold. Fox was beside him fluffing pillows, his dreads held up by a headband ornamented with kanji. Ice thought out loud, "Toad is coming back today. Everything has to be perfect." Ice thought out... Oh, wait, I just read that. The door swung open as Meph returned from the market with large bags of food swung over his shoulder. His hair was much longer now, with it partly up in a wolf tail. His other hand down beside him, bandaged up. "Hey everyone, I'm back with the spoils of war," Meth announced in a war cry to all in earshot. Tacos appeared on the scene, joining Meth, unloading the groceries onto the island. Tacos had long white hair, accompanied by his cozy poncho hoodie. He set down his guitar to assist in the process. He reached into the bag and pulled out 2 takeout boxes of Chinese food. The smell wafted up the stairs. This was much more effective in getting everyone to come to attention. 2 more of the friends came down the stairs. One was Minnie, with light blonde hair under his favorite beanie. He was holding 2 Joy-Cons in his hands. Apparently he had just been playing Super Smash on the Switch upstairs. The other was Toast. He had long platinum blonde hair with dark roots on top. Toast had a bag of cheese puffs in one hand, chopsticks in the other. He wore a Virtual Boy VR headset over his face, as a D&D dice keychain hung from his waist. Hearing the announcement of food, Cheese and Grape poked their heads up from the couch boat. Cheese had long curly hair with headphones. Grape also had long hair parted in the middle, sipped quietly from a juice pouch. Toast pulled the Virtual Boy from his face to see things better. He looked around. "Wait, where's Bacon?" "Don't worry, man. We got tons of bacon, eggs, whatever you want," Meph retorted. Toast had a confused look on his face. "No, my brother Bacon," Toast responded. Tacos had finished unloading the food and returned to the couch to play with the guitar in hand. Now Meph understood. "Oh, no worries. He's meeting Toad at the station." Ice looked a bit impatient as he placed the guitar in the corner. "That's all well and good. Now everyone get down here and help me get ready." Everyone came downstairs, droning in unison with feigned excitement. "Okay, here we go." At the station, awaiting the arrival of Toad's train, stood a dark figure looking off into the distance, Bacon. He had short dark hair, faded on the sides, wore a thick leather coat and a black shirt. He was on his Game Boy Advance waiting for the return of his friend. In time, the train pulled into the station, and Toad made his way through the crowds of people out of the train doors onto the platform. Immediately, Bacon saw his friend and swiftly threw the Game Boy in his pocket. Game Boy Pocket. Taco looked around hopefully. Taco? Too many T names. Toad looked around hopefully. At first, nothing, just the bustling of a busy train station. Then, out of nowhere, the warm embrace of a friend. "It's good to see you, man. It's been a while." Bacon chuckled. Toad embraced him as tears welled up in his eyes. Yep, it's good to be back. But yeah, so that gives you guys an idea of what Tanuki Hero is about. And yeah, the idea for the order was I saw all of these types of things, kind of like the streetwear, modern ninja type thing. And I thought it'd be cool if there was like a group of them. Seeing this is what kind of like sparked the art style. I need to figure out what the artist, who the artist is that did that. It's kind of like futuristic but retro and kind of like vaporwave arcade video game type feel. Oh, what? I forgot that wasn't loading. Yeah, putting together these Pinterest boards has been cool for working on the story, but they're basically full now, so I gotta do something with it. And I have been thinking about, so like the Grateful Ghost story is very fall themed, and kind of so is Anthem Nights. So I thought it would be interesting if Tanuki Hero is more like took place in the winter time. And I was thinking about how it taking place in Vancouver, Canada, so like a very cold place, and try to tune some of those Scott Pilgrim vibes. I don't know what it is with colored hair, but I love colored hair with characters. Even if it like glows when they get like a superpower or something, like a fire flower, the hair starts glowing red. When Donkey Kong got the fire flower in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, that was pretty sweet. I want to make more art like this, where it's like groups of people interacting with each other. Oh, that's mine. Kinda. There was like a pixel art base spray, and then I made it look like each of them. Yeah, so there's like influence coming from tons of different things like Naruto, the Dream SMP, Gojo, anime, McDonald's. This guy holding milk. More guys holding milk. I guess this is kind of spoiler territory, but the reason Wilbur became a very important character because he's based off of my oldest brother, and he really became a great character that could have a different viewpoint than all the other characters. That's what I'll say. Percy Jackson. I think this is Itachi. I don't know why he just this is like basically what I see Mephiles being. I had an idea of like having it take place further back in time, so that's why there's some. Anyway. Oh yeah, and there's some ideas from Fantastic Beasts too playing into the story. There's so many. That's crazy. Yeah, that's the gist of Tanuki Hero and the story. I wish I could click on it would let me actually see these, but that's okay. And then this is the fantasy story. Anthem Nights. And then this is the spooky ghost story. For those, I've gone and made some world building videos about those, and I actually made some animatics. So it's coming along. It's coming along. Lester said, "You're a wizard, James." Oh, thanks. I'm a what? There's just like with this Nuki Hero story, there's I love like Voltron Legendary Defender and like Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and what are some other ones? Ninjago. I just like love those like group of people that are all different colors, like different like they wear different colors and they go up against different dark forces and stuff. Newsletter subscription is payable in rupees only. Yep. Only rupees. You gotta find them. My recommendation would be try like mowing your lawn, but with the sword. There might be some hiding in there. Duck. Yeah, it's been crazy looking at like different people's like comic artists and like how their process and like preparing a comic to be ready. It's been pretty cool. Oh, that's one of ours. One of the other things I've been working on is this. It's called London Rainbow or Rainbow London. But all of them are animals, kind of like what is he called? Like Arthur or like Richard Scarry's Busy Town or like Frog and Toad. But it's like a university academia in London type story. I shared some of them on the newsletter. I actually think I might have some, yeah, Rainbow Uni. Care Bears meets Demon Slayer. There you go. That's what it is. The rain fell on and on throughout the day and night. Lions, tigers, and bears trotted through the streets with their umbrellas and lanterns in hand. The lantern light reflected in dark puddles of water, and the rain pattered down. Lower on the ground, a rabbit ran through the crowds with a much smaller umbrella on his way to a university class. The rabbit toted along with him a small pack. The fog unrolled like a blanket out over the horizon. So it's trying very like a poetic rainbow vibes, you know? And here's another one. The hot cocoa is steamed with wafting scents of sweet chocolate and peppermint. Hey Rabbit, hot cocoa is ready, Owl said to his friend who was sitting at the window. Oh yeah, it's also kind of like Winnie the Pooh, except like academia. Winnie the Pooh academia. Owl said to his friend who was sitting at the window. Thanks, Owl, you're the best, Rabbit said, hopping over to take a sip of the hot chocolate. Oh, and also, oh, what is it called? Something wall. Red wall? I think it's red wall. Or like that hedge, brambly hedge. The illustrations in that one, the brambly hedge one, they're beautiful. They're amazing. They have like cutaways of like the underground houses and stuff. Oh man, it's great. Rain fell in a chorus of patters. The sky was dark and full of clouds. So I could like pull up the thing it actually goes with. A paper airplane flew into view and landed on the table. Oh, sorry about that, dudes, Frog said, running into the kitchen to retrieve the paper airplane. As he stepped in, the scent enveloped him. Is that hot chocolate? Owl said. Yes, it is, and we still have plenty. It's over in that pot on the hob. That's like a British word, I guess, for like a stove. Um, oh, thanks, Frog said as he made his way in hops over to the stovetop. Frog poured the hot cocoa into a mug and dropped in a handful of marshmallows. Peppermint? Rabbit asked. Certainly, Frog responded. Rabbit handed him a candy cane and he placed it into the mug. Quite the way to spend a rainy day. The sun rose the next morning, shining into the flat. Yeah, so wrote a thing about Nova. I feel like there was another one somewhere. Fan film. Oh yeah, this is my like Teen Titans. Robbie yawned as he popped a waffle into the toaster. Garth was nearby munching on a bowl of Charms Lucky. Hey Robbie. Garth looked up from his bowl of Charms. What are your plans for the day? Robbie yawned again and in mid yawn. In mid spoke. Oh, nothing much. Heading for the diner. Heading for the diner for the lunch hour. Heading to the diner for the lunch hour, then going for a run. Ooh, nice, Scarf replied. I'll definitely stop by the diner later today then. Oh yeah, this was plans for the next webtoon episode. Oh, I like this. Meridor. The castle town of Meridor sat on the crystal seas of Anthem. One could not easily step into Meridor or step out. The Caroline bell tower rang majestic against the cold sky, though in all its majesty it rang as if in a cry for help. Freedom seldom settled on the raised streets of Meridor, and the true choice only came to those of high nobility, birth, or rank. No sight. Oh, I forgot about this. This is from Anthem Nights. This was something I wrote. I came across a challenge to... This is a cool challenge for any writers to try out. To write without one of the senses. So this one was writing without being able to see anything. So like you're not describing what things look like. Instead, like the smells and textures and stuff. So... And this is from Anthem Nights, which is this one. Let me give you an idea. Well, I can't look at it, but yeah, Parker is one of the characters. She works at a radio station and she plays the electric bass. And the story is about kind of like the interlap of our world and then a magical world that exists beside each other. And then Aspen is the other character that it talks about, but yeah. The grass felt cold and slippery, covered in a blanket of dew. The air carried scents of rain and wet earth. Aspen awoke from her slumber and heard the sound of a frog hopping on by. When she breathed in, it tasted foreign, still breathable oxygen, but something else, something different. She reached her arms up in a yawn and felt what felt like a fish swim past them. That couldn't be right. Fish swim in the water, not the air. Parker woke up in the hollow of a tree. Darkness sat upon the wood, and pumpkin moths flew by around a small lantern that hung from the top of the hollow. The lantern held a flame. But when Parker took a closer look, she found that the flame had a little face. Are you stuck in there? Parker asked the flame. I can get you out of there, she continued. A tiny voice responded back. Many thanks, but I'm good where I'm at. This lantern protects me from the dangers of the world, or at the very least, the rain. Oh, yeah, of course. I guess that makes sense, Parker retorted. Man, it's weird talking to a sentient flame. It's weird for me too. You know, talking to a human being, not many often talk to me. Usually it's just like, hey, you stay here, or hey, you light my path. It's a nice change. The flame laughed to itself. Parker smiled along with the flame. Yeah, so it's nice, nice vibes. And this was when I was trying to come up with a villain idea. Darkness never sleeps for certain in the dark swamps. The mangrove forest light was scarce to be found. The roots and branches gnarled so tight to not let a drop of light into the swampy mirth. I thought about the villain being nocturnal, or the villain wanting to put an end to all dragon. A villain connected to candles or made of wax. Yo, 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 yo. Is this it? No. Yo, yo. Maybe it's on Obsidian, which if it is, then it's not on here. This is my dream journal. I stepped into a small library looking through a tall square box of books, mostly books with pictures. I found a stack deep in the box. Book 3 from a series I apparently was reading was there. An older gentleman stepped into the library. He walked to the corner. There was a stained glass window on the ceiling of a yellow library card. Apparently this took the place of the personal library card in some shape or form. With that, an announcement sounded about any new students. The announcement asked something about scribes. Then, oh, Buster said more bookmarks than you could shake a magic wand at. Yeah. That's funny. All students go to the school to pick up an order of the scribe's book. It was interesting because I was starting a D&D campaign, and I chose to be a wizard in Order of the Scribes, and then I had this dream. So we were at the opposite end of what is usually town hall. We found the school and headed inside. There was a raised platform and a table with a paper. It reminds me of the scenes from Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, the original where they signed the agreement scroll. Oh, I know what that's talking about. On the table that was quite like a desk, there sat a variety of pens in all differing sizes and a well of ink. The pens looked like regular ballpoint pens, but just the interior tube, and with a flourish of a white swoosh at the end, a bit like a feather or quill. I knocked over the inkwell a bit, reaching across the desk. The inkwell wobbled back and forth and settled in its place. I searched the desk for the longest pen so it would be easier to hold and write with. Every one that appeared to be long when I picked it up became shorter and about the same size of the other ones. Dreams can be super trippy. Like, you'll go to pick up the large pen and that turns into a small pen, or you go to hug a frog and it turns into a cactus. It's like, yeah. I eventually chose a pen and signed my name on the paper to receive my beginner book for scribes. Apparently, it was quite important that that each have one of these. Surprisingly, the sign-in room wasn't very full, and I wondered where everyone else was. After I signed my name, I woke up. It was quite interesting writing out the stream, being able to remember it pretty well. Archetypes. Oh yeah, another curious thing about the library was that it seemed to have no visible walls. It looked out into the grassy place with a path that led up. Even before people stepped in, I could see them approaching. It was quite like a bouncy house. When people stepped in, it had the same effect. There were no steps up to the threshold, so people had to take an exaggerated step up into the library bouncy house with the stained glass ceiling shining down. And I did some exploration for my D&D character, Ven, his magic spell book. Oh, this was another little thing. Aspen sat in the grass playing with a little deer sheep. It bawed happily and munched on some emerald green grass. Aspen smiled as she held some flowers, and the sheep munched away on them. She looked out of the green pasture, and her eyes out over. the green pasture, and her eyes lit up with joy. This land was so beautiful and magical beyond belief. The honeysuckles here could fill a cup with sweet, sweet nectar, and the hill on which she sat was in reality a giant deer skull from ages past, now overgrown by plants and under honeysuckles. Sitting up on top of it, though one could not tell its true shape. So just kind of like world building stuff. This was from when I was writing in November, and those are the notes we took to do today. So yeah, I think we'll call this stream there. I'm feeling kind of tired, and maybe I'll take a power nap. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Buster. I know the stream was all over the place, and I just did just random stuff, but it was fun. It was good looking back at those stories and thinking about things I could write about. With like doing like an animated short, it's just like the part that I'm trying to figure out right now is just like figuring out a pipeline or like some plan to like write out some plans to give to people so they know we're all on the same page and like we can communicate well. Oh, Buster said I'm on work time, so I'm kind of a captive audience. LOL. Nice, nice, sweet. Yeah. Yeah, because what was I saying? For the animated short, because I see it being probably less than 3 minutes, maybe even just like a minute short. I just like wanna. We have kind of like a script, so we need to get like a storyboard made, and I just want to give people an opportunity to work on, be a part of something, and also try to work with people more rather than just doing everything myself. It can be easy to just roll solo, but it'll be good to do some collaboration. Blue grow. I've been watching those different like animated shorts that people make in like a week or something, and I'm like, maybe I should just do that. But I know that can be stressful to people. So yeah, I actually had a really cool opportunity once where there was someone that was looking for people to help with his like final animation project. He needed people help with coloring and stuff, and he so I joined the Discord and like was a part of it, but by the time I got there, most of the jobs were already passed out, so I was just kind of like an observer. So I got to see the pilot. It was like a little like kind of like anime, and that was pretty sweet seeing like that. It felt like kind of like in the studio of like Studio Ghibli, but also like is it Makoto Shinkai? Yeah, it looked really cool. And I messaged him. I'm like, dude, how did you do that? But I think what he like, from what I remember, because this was a while ago now, but from what I remember that he did was he basically had all of the shots drawn out, and then he had people do like the final ink and then like final color and stuff, and then possibly help out with why can't I think of what it's called, like After Effects, like the post-production, adding in like color and all that type of stuff. Yeah, but that's a good idea. Check out small other projects, see what other people have done. And yeah, there was one time I got together some people and we were gonna make a short together, but I just was going too slow, and then it just kind of faded away. So, but I'm excited. I think maybe doing some type of video call or audio call on Discord, once I got a plan of attack. Buster said, I'm guessing you'd have to plan out the scenes and have one person animate until the next cut. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, so it looks like, because even the style could kind of change between animators, but if it cuts, then because you've seen that with multiple like map projects, like multiple animator projects. So yeah, that's a good point. And for anyone who's watching this after the fact, thanks for coming to this point. If you enjoyed my ramblings, feel free to follow and check out the YouTube channel. It's at James Candyland. Yeah. GG's, catch you later. Yep. Yeah, see you later for the Bit Timber festivities. Yeah, it's been cool seeing your art, man. See ya.